Hi Greg and Linda, thanks for asking people to do this. I'm really pleased to be able to record something to help publicise this ridiculous situation that is prevailing in the UK today with regard to ME. I hate seeing myself on camera or video, so it feels really strange doing this, but as I said before, I really want to help. I've had ME for 14 years. I was working as a food production manager in a food factory with a really high-tech sort of job. I'm a biologist by training, and I've worked in some sort of technology all my working life. And it's because of this I find it extremely strange that the psychiatric lobby have hijacked everything to do with ME in the UK and will not agree to any sort of proper biomedical testing or research at all. They just don't want to do it. And as I say, as a scientist and with the scientific sort of frame of mind that I have, I find this very, very odd. But anyway, to go back to my ME, I've had it for 14 years. Fortunately, I've never been really in the category of the 25% group or the severe ME sufferers, other than possibly the first 6 to 7 months, or when I was in the acute phase. Interestingly enough, during that time I was sent to see a psychiatrist, and of course, not knowing anything about the disease really at the time, I gaily went along, and I must have been incredibly lucky, because I must have seen the only psychiatrist in the country who wasn't interested in sort of grabbing me for one of his patients. He said, after careful consideration, that I didn't show any psychiatric tendencies whatsoever. And in fact, to check this, he asked me to go back the following week when he interviewed me again, and he stated that I had absolutely nothing he could find wrong with me in the psychiatric field. He did say I had a few normal concerns that would be expressed by anybody that had suddenly acquired a very disabling and distressing disorder. After that, I was treated basically by my GP, and then later on by a rheumatologist. I was put on a drug called amitriptyline, which I now know is really prescribed mostly by the psychiatric lobby. I was on that for 7 years, and that gave me more grief than the rest of the experience put together. It caused me to put on a tremendous amount of weight. It gave me a lot of other side effects, and in the end, after I got the internet at home and started researching it, I realised there was a whole groundswell of opinion in America and other parts of the world against amitriptyline, so I came off it and I've never taken it since. But even now I'm still suffering with a lot of the side effects that I was gained because I took it. And all this leads me to think, why do they put people on these drugs and on these treatments when really most of the effect is detrimental? These people on the N.I.C.E committee, the NHS guidance committee that's just brought out this other document that Greg's been talking about, they don't seem to want to listen to patients. There is a great deal of talk these days about ME and CFS. Well, to my mind, they're entirely different diseases, and until they get that sorted out, for a start, we're never going to get recognition for ME. but I'm speaking purely as an ME patient. That is what I have been diagnosed with, and I will do my utmost to try and get all this information brought to the fore and publicised, and I hope that everybody watching this will try and do the same. We've got to stand up and be counted. We've got to fight for what we know is right. We've got to get some of the subtexts and all the conflicts of interest and all these other sorts of things that people like Martin Walker talk about. We've got to get those publicised so that the people out in the real world really know what's going on. Thanks for listening. Please, please help with this fight. Thank you.